Welcome. Today, we're going to be discussing the top 6 languages that you should be learning in 2023. To be able to code has recently become one of the most valuable skills that you can have. Just by learning to code, you can greatly improve your life in terms of job opportunities, financial capabilities, and career progress. But as beginners, a lot of people get really intimidated about which language to learn, what technologies to learn, what all jobs are available in which field, and what kind of employment should be suitable for them. Hence, in this video, I will be providing the details for some languages that you should be learning as a beginner with a bonus tip at the end. A couple of disclaimers before I start with this video. The list that I have formulated is highly subjective. There are a lot of languages that haven't merited a position because I'm ranking them for their ease for monetization, which basically means how quickly you will be able to get a job or a freelancing opportunity or a paid contract after learning this language. So, really, fundamental languages like C, despite being the kind of language that all programming sequences are built upon, have not been included because, at least in my opinion, no company is going to hire you very quickly on your beginner to amateurish skills in C. Whereas, even if you sort of mid tier skill level in languages like JavaScript, which is used for web development, or React Native, which is used for cross platform app development, there is still a decent chance of you getting hired because these jobs are so abundant. Every business nowadays needs a website or an app, and you can be their go to person if you know how to build a responsive website or a functional app. With that being said, let's get started. Number 0, Python. When its first appearance in 1991, Python is a vastly popular language because of its easy syntax and readability, especially for beginners. It is also a very useful language because of its flexibility. You can venture out into artificial intelligence and machine learning after learning some Python and about its basic frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch. It is also a very popular choice among data scientists because of its libraries like NumPy and Pandas. Or if you'd like to build a website, there is always Flask or Django for the backend. There are also a number of projects that you can make using Python in web scraping and automation, and the list just goes on. Python's popularity has risen dramatically in the recent years and it does not show any signs of slowing. It is anticipated that Python is going to grow by 50% in the coming year. Hence, this language should be at the top of your bucket list for this year. Number 1, JavaScript. Often abbreviated as JS, JavaScript first appeared in 1995 and is one of the most core technologies of the World Wide Web along with HTML and CSS. JavaScript is a very popular choice among developers because you can use it for web development purposes, which is, I feel like, one of the most valuable skills that you can have. JavaScript also has a lot of libraries and frameworks like MongoDB, Express, React, Angular, NodeDB, and etc. You can develop both the front end and the back end of a responsive website with capabilities, functionalities, and databases just by using JavaScript now. You don't even have to learn any other language. Earlier, you had to learn something else for the backend, like a specific language, for example, PHP, or for Python, Flask, and Django. Number 2, Java. The third most popular language after C and Python, Java is a high level, class based, object oriented language which is designed to have as few as implementation dependencies as possible. Don't get scared by all the big words, they're all just really simple concepts, I promise. Originally developed by Sun Microsystems in 1995, Java is now owned by Oracle and runs on more than 3 billion devices all over the world. It is used to develop web apps, mobile apps, desktop apps, games, and so much more. A little difficult language to get started with, I admit, but once you get the hang of this language, you will be able to correlate your knowledge with a lot of other technologies and languages as well. Number 3, C++. Similar to Java in a lot of its features, C++ is also a low-level language. Again, a little difficult for beginners to pick up to its complete extent, but Once you go into the complete depth of this language, you will be able to conquer any other language in just weeks. Most video games, embedded systems, IoT devices, and resource-heavy AI applications were all built on C++. Since it is an extension of C, it is also called C with classes. It was specifically designed with an orientation towards large systems and resource-heavy softwares. The biggest advantage of C++ is that it allows developers to take control of the applications they build about how they allocate their resources or use them up. Since C++ is closer to hardware, it is a lot of game development companies' first choice to build really heavy games. It can easily manipulate the resources and override the functionalities and the difficulties that come with 3D gaming and multiplayer networking. C++ is also used to develop GUI based and desktop apps. Even Adobe has used C++ to build a lot of its softwares like Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. I have learned C++ to use it in data structures and algorithms, and in my coursework in college, I am learning about its applications in operating systems. Number 4, Swift. Swift is a language which is used for iOS development. So if you would like to build apps for your MacBook, your iPhone, or your iPad, learning to code in Swift is going to be an amazing option for you. For this, it is actually better to have an iOS device because Xcode only runs on macOS. You actually can learn to code in Swift using a Windows PC, but the only catch is you cannot directly install Xcode on a Windows OS. The solution to get Xcode on Windows would be to use some virtualization app like VMware or VirtualBox. By using these virtualization techniques, you will be able to use the full functionality of Xcode on Windows. Number 5, Solidity. Following the popularity of decentralization, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain development, Solidity is starting to become the perfect language for you to learn as a beginner. There are very few quality developers who actually know how to build decent dApps, which stand for decentralized apps. A lot of recently funded startups belong from this space, and the founders will be really wanting to hire someone with extensive knowledge in this field, and you could be one among them. Solidity is a curly braces, statically typed programming language. As a relatively young language, it is advancing very rapidly. You can use it to build smart contracts on the Ethereum network. What is Ethereum, you might ask? Ethereum is a decentralized open source platforms on which you can build contracts which are executed by themselves and are designed to run without any third party intervention. Since this field is here to be one of the most happening things in the future, you should definitely check it out. So that is it. But since you stayed for so long, I have a bonus tip for you. If you've already learned a language or two, especially any of them from this list, and you would like to learn another language, here is my advice for you. I would suggest you go for languages that don't have a lot of overlap, or they've been written in some different kind, or the purposes that they've been formulated for are really different from the language that you currently know. For example, if you've already learned a low-level statically typed language like C, C++, or Java, you can branch out to a dynamically typed language like Python or JavaScript. In case if you don't know what these words like statically typed or dynamically typed mean, you can Google them or watch a video. Or if you want me to make a video explaining these concepts, drop a comment below and I will surely make one for you. If you've already learned web development with JavaScript, you can also try learning React Native and build some mobile apps with it. After learning the framework React in JavaScript and the language React Native, you will be able to correlate what is same and what is different between the two of them. Also, as a beginner, it does not really matter how many languages that you know. If you know even one or two languages with their complete depth and can build a lot of meaningful projects in them, that is way better than if you knew the syntax of 10 different languages but only had superficial knowledge in them. That is it for today. I hope you got to learn something from this video. If you thought that the knowledge that you got from this was valuable, please consider subscribing so that I can make even better content for you. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.